Hey there, gang. It is time for another weekly haul video. We're going to talk about everything I got at my local comic book store this week. And as you can see, it wasn't actually that much. So we're also going to talk about this cool set that I got a real nice deal on. What could that be? We're going to talk about that. So if you like comic books, stick around. We're going to have some fun. Hey there, Bubby. Welcome to Shanghai. My name is Duke, and this is a weekly haul video. And as you can see, not much came in this week. As a matter of fact, this is the only book that came in on my pull list. And if I'm being honest, I kind of wish now that I had not even purchased this book. The reason I did is because of the solicitation, and I'll put it up on the screen here. You can see that it had an Eric Powell story it mentioned, and Spider-Man and the Thing and Doctor Doom teaming up sounded cool. That had been an issue 2 as well. And when I read the solicitation in the previews catalog, the Marvel catalog actually that comes with the preview catalog, I noticed that the wording seemed kind of similar. Now, I had read the solicitation for issue 2, a month earlier, so I wasn't sure it was exact, but it just sounded similar. But I wrote that off because I figured, well, it's just maybe somebody lazy in in the Marvel offices, because it isn't like the old days. Marvel isn't staffed like the 60s and the 70s, where most of the payroll went to the creatives. These days, Marvel and DC both, they are top heavy with executives. They've got too many chiefs and not enough Indians. They've got 147 executive vice presidents, and every damn one of them has the word marketing in their title, which may explain why they're so bad at marketing. So at the time, I just wrote it off as someone being lazy, just repeating the solicitation from the previous issue, some of the wording, for the next chapter of this particular Eric Powell story. Well, as it turns out, because when I got this book and saw that there is no Eric Powell story in it, when I realized from the previous issue that there wasn't going to be, that was a done in one, I went back and looked at the solicitations, and it wasn't just that sentence about the Powell story that was the same. It was the entire solicitation was word for word exactly the same, but the order code is different, and it had the right cover. That's a big screw up. I'm kind of surprised I have not seen any videos about that anywhere on YouTube. To just repeat the exact same solicitation. So I don't know what was going on. And maybe the reason that nobody's complaining about it is because nobody's buying this book. Marvel, and again, this goes to being so bad about marketing, they've got 2 titles out simultaneously, Marvel singular and Marvels plural, and they're both kind of like anthology-like titles. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know what Marvel was thinking, what the brain trust there had in mind, because it's confusing to me, and I've been buying comics for, nigh on a half a century. So I've got to assume that this is confusing for readers, for retailers, not knowing what is what, which series is which, what's going on, why those 2 very similarly titled series are out at the same time, both with kind of similar formats. I mean, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. And this book doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, you've got this kind of cool Power Man Iron Fist cover, but they're not anywhere in this book at all. There's a Submariner story. There's a prose kind of thing. This Bill Sienkiewicz thing, and a Black Widow story, the Golden Age of Black Widow, if you will. But I don't know. Because it doesn't have the Eric Powell story that I thought it was going to have when I ordered it. Because it's $5 for what is effectively a normal sized issue. This might be, instead of 28 pages, because most people don't seem to have noticed Marvel books are not 32 pages anymore. They haven't been for years. They're only 32 pages when you count the covers. The interior is actually just 28 pages. This isn't much bigger. And it's made and marketed as a collectible. I mean, as a, cardstock cover, high gloss paper. Um, that's not what I want from a comic book. I don't know about you. Whoop, sorry. I just just hit the camera stand. We're not having an earthquake. But I'm not looking for collectibles. I buy comics because I want to read them. Um, like when I was a kid. And when I was a kid growing up in the 70s, a teen in the 80s even, comics were still by and large a disposable consumer item. Yes, by the time I came along, they were certainly a healthy collector's market, but mostly comics sold to people who maybe read comics for a few years and then outgrew them. And it was just kind of the geeky fanboys like me who forgot to outgrow them. And that's really what I want in a comic book. I don't need cardstock covers and high gloss paper. Just newsprint is fine. Give me a good story. That's what I want. Now, I haven't read these yet, so maybe these stories are good, but just the packaging alone turns me off. Just put it out there, places where people can find it, who aren't already dedicated hardcore fanboys. And if something proves popular enough, then reprint it in a high quality package format. But anyway, I wish I hadn't bought that book. For $5, I don't know that I'm actually going to be interested in what's in here. I'll do a review. I'll read this up and I'll do a review. But the book doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and I'm disappointed that it is not what was advertised. These next two books were actually reorders. So as I said, this is the only new book I got that came in off my pull list. These were both reorders. This one, as you may know, I was a newspaper reporter for about 15 years, and so I was pretty busy. I working deadlines, going to evening meetings, select boards, planning boards, school boards. I didn't watch a lot of TV during that time, so I completely missed the boat on Rick and Morty. Well, now that I work in comics, and again, as you may know, if you've seen this channel before, if you've seen any of my videos, most of what I do is grading books for an outfit called DotCom Comics / sell my comic books that sells books online. The eBay username is .com Comics. Most of my time is grading books, and I have stuff playing kind of in the background. It's hard to concentrate on what's on the TV, but I got it on the background as noise anyway. So I recently discovered Rick and Morty, and I binged the entire 40, 50 some odd episodes. Loved it. And so I've been buying up whatever Rick and Morty books I come across. The shop where I get my books, which is of course .com Comics in Freeport, Maine, had issue 3 and 4 of this series still on the shelf. I asked the manager Dan if he could get the first issue, and he tried. I haven't seen 2 yet, but Diamond did come through. Was able to get a reorder on issue number 1 of this particular mini series, Rick and Morty Dungeons and Dragons. So I'm going to need issue 2 before I read this up. But if you've read any Rick and Morty comics, let me know. Are the comics as good as the TV show? I'd be interested in knowing, should I track down those books? Because I think the regular series recently ended. It's from Oni Press, by the way. They seem to have the license for that. The regular series ran like 70 issues and ended last year, I think shortly before the pandemic. And so they've been in a cycle of miniseries and specials. Penultimate Man, this is a reorder as well. This is, Diamond giveth and Diamond taketh away. And in this case, Diamond shorted us, just didn't get this book at all. And I had to have Dan get on the horn and find out what happened. And so Penultimate Man number 3 finally came in. They were able to get us a copy. I know some of the people who watch this channel either own or manage comic book stores, either now or in the past they have. how does it affect your sales? You know, when Diamond shorts you, and I've got to imagine that it's not just our store, .com Comics, that if Diamond shorts us with the frequency that they do, are they also shorting other stores? I have to believe so. I can't believe it's just because we're a smaller store. Now, I grant you, we only get one order of Penultiman, the one that I ordered for my pull list. This isn't, nobody else has this on their pull list at our shop, and we don't order any extra copies for the shelf. The only one we got is this one I ordered. I order it largely because Tom Pyre, yeah, as you know, as you can probably guess by the name of this channel, I'm a big Legion of Superheroes fan. So I support Ahoy and Tom Pyre largely, out of leftover goodwill from his run on the Legion back in the 90s. But this is a little bit of what that looks like inside. And it's a good book. It's not bad. But if your shop gets shorted, how does it affect your sales? If you finally get in your orders, do people still not want the book? Does it then impact future orders? Do people not order it because they're afraid they're not going to get it? Even if they have pre-ordered it, the Diamond's just going to drop the ball and not send it. In my list of annual predictions that I did a couple of months ago, I predicted that UCS would go under, although, granted, I predicted DC would drop UCS, and the public relations people would have us believe that UCS dropped DC. But I also predicted that Diamond itself would go under within a year of when I had made those predictions, and I still wonder if that's going to be the case, and if something else is not going to have to arise, because, man, Diamond just can't seem to do its one job, which is to fulfill orders and get the books to the stores. And then this last thing I got, this was actually free, a Fantastic Four 2021 calendar. And I say it's free. There were a pile of them on the counter by the cash register, so I grabbed one. So it was free to me anyway. I don't know. Maybe I was supposed to pay for it. And this is all it is, really. It's if I can get that where you can see it, it's just each month and a cover. I mean, it starts with whoops, knocked over more Drew here. I'll have to get him out of the way for the moment. It starts in January with Fantastic Four #1 and goes all the way up to there's about the era when I started reading Fantastic Four. There is the classic John Byrne era, which is the best run, I think, maybe even almost better than the original Stan Lee Jack Kirby run. And then it runs through to, more recent stuff, November, December. So, I don't know, I think, a printed calendar is kind of an anomaly in this day and age, but I will hang this in my studio, in my office, and sure, why not? Couldn't resist it. I'll tell you what I do want, though. I used to have, and I lost it. We had a house fire in 1980. Lost everything that we had at that point. But I used to have a couple of calendars from DC. DC put out these calendars in the mid to late 70s. And what was cool about them is that they didn't just list various holidays, but it had the birthdays of all of the superheroes. Which was kind of funny because, the Legion, you've got, characters Brainiac 5, Cosmic Boy, Saturn Girl, born on other planets, in other solar systems. Somehow their birthdays, they did the quantum dating on it and figured out how their birthdays would work out on a typical Earth calendar. But if you've got one of those or know where you can get one, let me know. I would dearly love to have one of those calendars again. I have no idea how to even get one. I've never seen one, in the wild since then. Yeah, I would love one of those DC's 1970s calendars with the birthdays of all the characters. By the way, Superman's birthday was February 29th. And that was sort of the official explanation of why he aged so slowly, because he only had a birthday once every 4 years. Now, I swear to God, that is the absolute truth. All right, so the set that I got, and this was pretty cool. Now, if you have watched the unboxing videos on the Sell My Comic Books YouTube channel, you've seen my boss, Sean, who we call Tall Sean, and one of my fellow employees, also named Sean, who we call Small Sean. Uh, and they unbox their collections as they come in, and you've seen the ones that are sorted for grading for sale as singles on eBay. Those are the ones I do the videos on. But Sean, Small Sean, is probably the biggest Savage Dragon fan in the entire world. And so he put together this set, Savage Dragon 1 through 10, and he put a $7 price tag on it. Where's the bag? I'll prove it to you. There it is. $7 for Savage Dragon 1 through 10, less than $1 an issue. And he put that out in the store, and because I follow him on Instagram, and I think if you want to follow him on Instagram, it's Fist Shaking Comics is Small Sean's nom de guerre on the Instagram. But because I follow him, I saw that and immediately went right out into the store and grabbed it. Because hey, Savage Dragon, 1 through 10 for $7, why not? Now the only thing about this is that I was actually taking a box from the store back into the office, and I set this on the box as I was carrying it. And because I am very conscientious in the age of COVID, and I went to close the shop door behind me as I went out to the back area where I work for the internet stuff, kind of wobbled the box as I was trying to close the door with my foot, and this slid off and landed with a thud, actually split open the bottom of the bag, as you can see here. They seem to have weathered okay. Number 10 got a bit of a crunch here. You could see that. Maybe, I hope you can see it. I got a little dinged, a little dented, but most of them did okay. So again, I am as a collector, I am not an investor. I am a reader. As a collector, personally, I'm probably more of an accumulator. So just to have these books, to read them, because I didn't do anything with Image back in the day. I was dead set against Image. I thought the art was kind of horrid. I appreciate all of those artists more now than I did then, but at the time I was kind of a hardcore DC guy, and I thought, all of these crazy extraneous lines, not so much in Eric Larson, but in some of the other Image guys, I liked a more clean art style, and I didn't feel that a lot of them could really tell a story in pictures. They were just about cool drawings. So back in the day, I did not get any Image books. I slowly have been piecing them together out of dollar boxes at good deals like this since then. But anyway, yeah, Savage Dragon 1 through 10 for $7. Why the heck not? I'll do up a review and do like what I call a full run review. Not a full run, of course, but those first 10 issues. Let you know what I thought of Savage Dragon. And that's really it for this video, except for well, let's first pick my Drew up. Poor fella had gone ass over tea kettle there. Sorry about that, buddy. That's it, except to mention that I have been advised by a fellow YouTuber of some experience that if I want this channel to grow, if I want to catch hold with the algorithm, then what I need to do is post more often, post more consistently, and then maybe also, keep my videos a little shorter. So I have decided, kind of a breaking news flash here, I have decided that what I'm going to do going forward, at least for, let's say, the next 30 days or so, I'll commit to doing this through the end of January. I am going to try, to the extent possible, to post 3 times per day. I'll post, and again, to the extent possible, depending on the wellness factor of the the hamster wheel that passes for internet service here in Western Maine. But I'll try and post at 9 a.m. and then again at 1 and 5 p.m. If I have to lose one for any reason, it will probably be the 1 p.m. Slot. And I'll try and keep the videos shorter, again, to the extent possible, depending on subject matter, to, no more than 15 or 20 minutes. So 3 videos a day, 9 a.m., 1 p.m., 5 p.m., a little shorter. Let me know what you think. Let me know how that works out for you. And of course, if you have any advice, any thoughts, any desires, don't hesitate to reach out either in the comments below or by all means contact me via DM on Twitter at Shanghala or on Instagram at DuragoDuke. And yeah, let me know what you like, what you don't like, what you think I should be doing more of, less of, maybe none of. Up to and including, don't post at all. That's okay. I have broad shoulders. I can take it. Again, I was a newspaper reporter for 15 years, so I am not alien to the concept of criticism. Up to and including actual death threats. So there's very little you can say that's going to offend me. But sound off. Let me know how things go. Please do like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy this channel. Maybe sharing is the best thing that you can do, the most helpful thing. Don't just like and tell the algorithm you like this channel, but share it. Let your friends know as well. Anyway, until the next video, goodbye, good luck, and please be good to each other.